Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is TSX Jericho X, and today I'll be bringing you another simulation on WWE 2K15 for the Xbox One. This time I will have Brock Lesnar versus The Undertaker in lieu of the information we have just received about Lesnar and Undertaker facing off at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view on October 25th inside a Hell in a Cell, obviously. And you can catch this event and also the entire Brock Lesnar Go to Hell Tour, which will feature Brock Lesnar versus Big Show on October 3rd at Madison Square Garden, and the Stone Cold Steve Austin podcast on October 19th. So you have those three things to look forward to on the WWE Network within the next month, so I am excited for that, as are you, hopefully. Now, since we still have about another 13 minutes to go here, I'm going to try to fill up that time rather importantly. So I'm going to start off with, I guess, this announcement about Brock Lesnar. Hey, more power to him. I think that WWE has managed to get some more dates out of Brock with this new contract he signed before Mania, so that's really good for WWE, and it doesn't really seem as though it's hurting Lesnar in any way, because as we all know, he is a special attraction. He is a pay-per-view booster, but since pay-per-views aren't a thing anymore, he's a subscriber booster. When Lesnar's around, people tend to pay attention more. And I believe that this Go to Hell Tour, as WWE and Paul Heyman are calling it, is going to be a very good thing for the WWE Network, which, by the way, as far as I know, has been doing very well after a slow first year. For anyone that remembers the stock market decline on WWE stock and Vince McMahon losing a third of his fortune in a day. That's probably great news to hear. So, I guess let's talk about the matches themselves. On October 3rd, as I said, Brock Lesnar will be facing The Big Show. And this will be the first time that these two have faced off since the Royal Rumble in the Royal Rumble event in 2014, which Brock Lesnar won because he was on a roll at the time, and he would later go on to defeat the streak of the man that's in this match, and he'll actually be facing in the real Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. Now it's The Undertaker. Ladies and gentlemen, sorry for the little pause here. During the match, I had my laptop tell me I was at 7%. It really came out of nowhere, so my laptop charger wasn't anywhere near me, so I had to go around and find it. So, while we're waiting for this, I say that I'll put in my plug about the WWE Network. There's going to be very, very, very few things that I plug on this YouTube channel, but the WWE Network will be one of them. I'm a super fan of wrestling, and I'm a nerd about it, so I can probably tell you a lot of things. If you have questions, please leave them in the comments below, or if you'd like to simply discuss, I'm here for that. And I use the WWE Network every day, so for $9.99, say it with me now, you can get that awesome streaming service. So, or I think it's called a streaming service. Yeah, we'll go with that. That awesome the awesome content. There we go. We're gonna leave it at that. Okay. So, going back to Lesnar versus Big Show, I don't think that, even though they're two marquee names, Big Show and Lesnar, I don't think that that is the right match to go with at this time. Obviously, Lesnar beating Big Show serves to showcase Lesnar as a legitimate, badass and threat to not only the other competitors in the match, but also Undertaker, who he's going to be facing, as I said earlier. And I don't think Big Show is the right guy to do that. Big Show, as we all know, his 543 turns really haven't helped his character, nor has his inconsistent booking. For those of you that look on the inside of WWE and take a look at creative, there will be some weeks where Big Show's on top of the world, and then there will be other ones where he's falling off a mechanical bull. So there's definitely a lot of variety there, and I think sometimes that's not a bad thing, but considering the length of a career that Big Show has had and all those turns and silly things, it just really it's put him in a negative light. So, I don't know. The match is not, to put it simply, the match is not as big as it would have been 10 years ago. And not only do I not think it's as big as it would be 10 years ago, but I don't believe that showcasing Big Show against Cesaro is a way to build, isn't the right way to build up Big Show. I think that Cesaro, obviously he has the crowd reaction, he has the fan support, and he has the athletic ability. I know Vince McMahon was never high on him with his charisma, but honestly, I don't know how many opportunities he gets to showcase his charisma, period. But, you know, I think that Cesaro is a talent of the present and future, and I don't think him being served to Big Show to prove Big Show's legitimacy is the right way to go. But, you know, it's happened 2 weeks in a row on Raw now, so what do I know, right? Another thing that I would like to touch upon is simply Undertaker versus Lesnar. I don't know about anyone else watching this or anyone who follows wrestling, but I wasn't expecting Undertaker to win. Deep down, I probably knew it was coming, but Jim Ross on his on his podcast, The Ross Report, talked about an idea he had for a story, and I really agreed with it, and that was Undertaker loses at WrestleMania 30 for the streak. That's already happened, and we've been through that. But instead of Undertaker winning at SummerSlam, he should have, in my opinion and Jim Ross's opinion, he should have lost that match. And then if they were going to have this final match, say at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view like they planned, or even next year's WrestleMania, it could have been the story of how Undertaker simply cannot beat Brock Lesnar. And basically in this Hell in a Cell match coming up, or if they had had the match Mania, that would have been where he won and where he finally got his win. Because, ladies and gentlemen, you may not know this, but in the 5 pay-per-view events that Brock Lesnar and The Undertaker have faced off in, Undertaker's only won 1 match, and that was at SummerSlam this year. They had either a double DQ or no contest at Unforgiven 2002 in their first match together. So that would make it 0-0-1 for those keeping track. Then Lesnar won at 2002's No Mercy pay-per-view event, which was also in a Hell in a Cell, and I'll bring up the Hell in a Cell match later. So Lesnar won at No Mercy 2002, won in a biker chain match at the following year's No Mercy, so that's 2 wins, and then Lesnar won at WrestleMania 30 in a moment that I'm sure no one will ever forget, and it probably is the most shocking moment of this generation. Lesnar beating the streak, and you know, I don't know about anyone else, but I did not see it coming. When you look back and you watch, especially the promo right before, the promo video, which WWE production company always does amazingly, or always does well with, and if you go back and you watch the promo and you just watch the match itself, in hindsight, you could see that the streak was going to end just based off of that alone. I know the decision to end the streak was not made until about 4 hours before the match, but, you know, if you just look at the foreshadowing, like, it's really apparent, so I'm surprised I didn't see it. Maybe I just didn't want to, but, yeah. The streak ending was definitely a shocking moment. So, going back, as I said, Brock Lesnar has a 3-1-1 record against The Undertaker at pay-per-view events. Undertaker's only win, as I said, came from SummerSlam of this year, albeit a lot of controversy with the tap out that nobody saw and all that jazz. And I don't know about you guys, but when they say The Undertaker's never tapped out before, that is a little bit of a stretch. For off the top of my head, I know that Kurt Angle made Undertaker tap out on one occasion, and that was back in 2002. You know, but of course, whenever Undertaker taps out, it's always a screwy finish. I think Lesnar had Angle's shoulders down on the mat, so it ended up being a draw, something along those lines. But if they had said Undertaker is seldom pinned, let alone submitted, then I probably would have, I think that would have had a lot more weight to it than to say something that isn't necessarily correct. But then again, like I said, I'm a nerd with this sort of thing, so maybe I'm just feeding too much into it. So I believe I said another topic I was going to touch was the Hell in a Cell itself. I don't know if this is the best environment. Oof, as you can tell right there, as Undertaker crashes through the cell roof. Yeah, I don't think we're ever going to see that again, ladies and gentlemen. Mick Foley doing that crazy bump, which, by the way, was an accident. Him going through the cell roof was not planned. It happened by accident. So I don't think we'll ever be seeing that again. What's crazier is that Mick Foley actually did it again, and he faced Triple H in a Hell in a Cell match at No Way Out 2000, in which Mick Foley lost and had to retire, yet was back 3 weeks later for a WrestleMania match. So, yeah, who knows? What else? So the Hell in a Cell itself, I believe, has changed, not necessarily for the better. I think that the cell is taken for granted a little bit. We've seen it too much. I believe that Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose at last year's event really brought back the chaotic environment of the cell, at least somewhat. But I don't know, especially with Undertaker being as fragile as he is. Maybe fragile is not the, being as old as he is would probably be better. I don't think that this match is a good idea, especially against Lesnar. You know, Lesnar could rip your head off if he wanted to in a ring. He's just that freakishly strong, as well as athletic. And don't think that Brock Lesnar is a stiff worker, that he hurts people. He's actually a very good worker from what I've heard from other wrestlers on podcasts and YouTube videos and all that jazz. So, Lesnar knows what he's doing, but, Undertaker's fragile, especially at that age. I don't know how many of you fans know, but just recently, Sunday, Night of Champions, Sting was very seriously hurt. There was believed that he had broken his neck or had some career-threatening injury. Now, nobody knows if it's career-threatening or career-ending yet, but I believe the doctors, the x-rays revealed that there are no fractures, so good thing for Sting, and nothing too serious, though Sting is obviously in a lot of pain. So that's something to keep track of, because I believe Sting is 56 years old. Undertaker's 50 or 50, probably 51, I believe, at this point. So, those two have contributed a lot to this business, and I don't know about anybody else, but a perfect match for Undertaker and Sting, WrestleMania 32. I think it needs to happen. It's two icons. They don't have much time left, especially after this injury Sting received. I doubt he has much of a shelf life. And I think it's just time. Induct them both into the Hall of Fame. WrestleMania will be in their home state of Texas. It's just the way to go, in my opinion. As you can tell, ladies and gentlemen, we don't have much time left in this match. I honestly started getting my butt kicked big time. What I do, I don't do these like normal simulations. I'll play as one of the wrestlers, in this case Brock, and I'll max out the opponent's reversals and damage and all that sort of thing. Have it on legendary, be difficulty to try to make it as realistic as possible for you, the fans. There you have it. Undertaker just pinned Lesnar off of a third tombstone. It was a very fun match to have, and believe it or not, I actually have about 5 takes of these matches, because something always happens with this game. I'll get pinned off a roll-up or fisherman suplex. I get pinned off of that a lot with Seth Rollins, because the bar is so difficult. But, yeah, that was basically the match. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you'd like to have more content from TSX Jericho X, or my channel's name, Revolutionary Gaming, we have a lot of content to offer you. We have RIW, which is a WWE 2K based league, which we post videos to regularly, as well as other videos. I'm starting to branch out. I'm probably going to do Tales from the Borderlands, Halo. I have a couple Destiny videos on file, so look forward to those in the coming weeks, if not days. And just thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. As always, let us know how you liked the video in the comments below, and please like, comment, and subscribe.